and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Lock and Key Volume 1 by IDW. Now, there is violence, murder, blood, shooting, weapons, weird shit, more blood, attempted murder, some beating, and, well, again, more weird shit. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's the team. So, I'm fairly certain Lock and Key is quite a well-known series. Actually, up until I started reading this, I for some reason thought it was a series of graphic novels. But no, it's not. It came out as comic books, and now it has trades. There is a difference. So yeah, that slightly surprised me. I'm sure quite a few have heard of Joe Hill, right? That's Stephen King's son, isn't it? If it's the same Joe Hill. I think it might be. So yeah, I too heard of this story. I didn't really know though what it was about, but I thought, you know what, I should give it a try. And I bought this trade paper back like 4 or 5 years ago, probably. Then shoved it somewhere and forgot about it. And now I pulled it out like 5 days ago and sat down to finally read it. And well, I thought it would have some more. Well, you know what? I'm way too ahead of myself. Let's get in, and I don't forget. I'll say it at the end. Okay, so our story is this: we start with a family at their summer house. You got the dad, Reynold, the mom, Nina, and their three kids. Their oldest son, Tyler. Their middle daughter, Kinsey. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, and their youngest, Bud. Tyler's probably 17. Kinsey's either, I think, 15, 14, probably. And Bode is the youngest. They're like 6, I think. Either 5 or 6. I'm not certain, though. Anyway, while they're up in their summer house painting, Tyler complaining about being there, two teenage boys. One that the dad and Tyler know. Tyler's dad is a school counselor, so he counseled this a kid named Sam. So they both, him and another guy arrive, and well, they murder Tyler's. They murder the father. I was about to say Tyler's father, the kid's father. They murder him, and sorry, Sam shoots him. They're there for something. It is unclear in the beginning. Now, they don't see the kids in the house, but the kids hear obviously the gunshot. Tyler approaches and he sees what happens. But then he falls and knocks some paint over. And then the three kids go. Sam goes out to hunt for them. You can see the other teenage kid there too. And it's heavily implied that he probably just finished raping the mom. Yeah. So he goes after the kids. You see footprints of Tyler in white paint leading down to the basement. Kinsey and Bud are up top. They climbed on the roof and they're hiding behind the chimney. Kinsey is tightly squeezing Bud. Now, down below in the basement, Tyler has tricked Sam. They fight for a bit, and Tyler hits him very well with a brick and takes his gun. He goes upstairs. and there's his father's body, and the other guy's standing above him. Tyler wants to shoot him, but well, there's no more bullets. That's why the other teenager came around, because he counted the shots. And he thinks, well, that's it, and I'm gonna take care of you now. But then the mom, Nina, comes from behind him because they brought an axe, which I think he probably, I don't know if he hit her with the axe or what, but she takes it and right into the back of that asshole skull. It was actually awesome. She kills him, and then she tells Tyler to take Kinsey and Bod and run to the neighbors. And he's like, but what about Dad? Then we fast forward to the funeral. At first, I should say that this like happens in before and like then and now. So at first, you don't see the you see the flashback in between other parts. So that's what happens. And Tyler remembers when he was a kid, he heard his parents talking about if anything happens to Randall, Nina should take the kids and move to. Now, I didn't mention this. Welcome to Lovecraft. It's the name of the town. That's where Randall grew up. And they have this big house there that's on the cover. It's called Key House. So that's what he told Nina. Randall has a younger brother. He's named Duncan. And he comes, of course, to the funeral, and he takes all of them across the. Oh, across. Anyway, he takes them to the town Lovecraft. They're going to now live there. Sam is, of course, in prison. And, well, the other teenager has been killed by Nina. So, that's it. They have new lives to start. Obviously, no one's faring well. After all, they're head of the family. The dad has been murdered. And Tyler actually, having been frustrated with his father, the kind of, you could say, well, not that he wished for this, but later with the conversation he has with Sam before all of this, and Sam tells him, you asked me, Tyler, remember? The whole start of the story is a big, be careful what you wish for. That's holy shit. So they move to Key House. They have to start their lives again. Kenzie has lost herself. She has this like style. She has dreads and piercings, but then she removes the dreads, the piercings, trying to attract as little attention as possible. Tyler is working his ass off, I guess, to try to somehow cope with all of this. Their mom's drinking too much. It's like maybe they did hit her with the axe because now she needs a cane to walk. But something happened to one of her legs. Now Bud is, of course, the youngest. He explores the house and he actually finds a door that has a black key with a skeleton on it. This key. And he uses it to open the door, and then he tries to go out, but he falls back, and his spirit, if you will, flies out. But like, holy shit. And it's like, I can turn into a ghost. At first he's freaked out, but he's like, this is so cool, and he starts doing it. So it's like, holy hell. What's going on? And of course he tells everyone, but they don't believe him, obviously. As who would? So yeah, this house has a lot more to it than it seems. Now there is a well house outside on the grounds of Key House. Bod goes to it through the bars on one of the windows, and he hears someone talking to him from the well. There's someone inside of it. That someone is also talking to Sam in Juvenile, where he's awaiting trial. Basically, this thing has been whispering to Sam to get him to get keys for it. keys that are located in Key House, and it orchestrated this whole thing. So that's what it continues. Bod keeps talking to it, to this I think at first it appears to be a woman, like a young woman, a weird young woman, and she tells Bod that she can't leave through the door of the well house. So Bod talks to her for a while. Kenzie's starting to get a little better, getting back to her former style more, trying to make friends. But then they get the message that Sam has broke out of prison, out of juvenile. A detective comes to them. And they're thinking, oh, they'll catch him, but they don't. He manages to reach the house after days of traveling, which along the way he kills a lot of people. Now, Sam didn't have an easy life, although he is a smart kid. But he's. This is a part that kind of. Like, okay, he's supposed to be smart. We're even told that they skipped him a grade because he finished all of the years reading in 9 days. But yet the kid's not smart enough to apply for a scholarship. Now, granted, Randall can see that he's not mentally stable, that he needs to talk to a psychiatrist, but still. I think because he tells us, oh, I'm always good at figuring out what happens next. Now, granted, he has shitty parents, but still. I think a kid with brains would try to figure out what to do with himself instead of this. So this woman, sorry, that was my phone. She promises Randall a new face because Tyler beat him up when he murdered his father, and he now has scars all over. A new face and a new life. So it all comes down to a head. Sam reaches them in Key House. He sneaks around Bod, and that evening goes to see the woman down the well. Bod has dreams about his father ever since they came to Key House, and he sees his corpse. It almost looks like his father is trying to tell him something, almost like to warn him from the woman. Because in the dreams, he tells him about a joke. He starts telling him a joke like knock knock, and Bod says who, and he says who. So he tells that joke to his uncle Duncan, and then Duncan kind of remembers that as kids the joke was who are you, my echo? So it gets from that he should be weary of the echo, that woman down the well. So while he's there with her, Sam sneaks in, he beats up Kanzi, drags her down to the basement, and before that, he goes down to the basement, he locks up Duncan and Nina down in the wine cellar, while Duncan's trying to bring up his courage and balls to tell Nina that maybe she shouldn't drink so much. And now he said, you have to tell me where the key is. He wants these keys for the woman down the well. Now, they of course don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh, also, now, before that, way before all this, while Kenzie's having, she passes the hallway in school. Oh, she also, she tries for the running team, kind of. Or in sports, she meets this coach lady. And she passes down the hall while she's there, and she smells fresh paint. Which, of course, brings her back to the day her father was murdered. So she runs to the coach's office and vomits out of her window. So the coach meets her, and then she asks about a bracelet that Kenzie has, a thick bracelet. Her dad gave her that bracelet. He says that this is the key to her true self. And she should, if she has it, everything will be alright. Now, once Kenzie leaves, we see the coach taking out a yearbook and looking at photos there, a photo there, drama class. And then we see Randall, and also we see another student, a guy that looks almost not almost exactly like the woman down the well, like her male version. And it also has the coach in there too, because in the picture, Randall's wearing the bracelet. Now back to the house, and things going bad there. Uh, the mom, she starts beating with her cane on the door, trying to attract Rendell's not Rendell's trying to attract Tyler's attention. He does go down, but unfortunately, Sam already got to him, knocks him out, and drags him down there. And he pushes him down the stairs, and Tyler falls. So he's like, "You have to." He tells her, "You have to tell me where these keys are." And Duncan tells him, "Well, you're gonna have to describe to us these keys so we can help you." She tells him, Nina tells him, "Yes, they're in my drawer. Tyler will show you. They're in the drawer next to my bedside." And he goes with her. Now, she doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, but in her dresser, in the not dresser, she tells him the keys are in the dresser, but at her side table, there's a gun that she purchased. So Tyler needs to go and get that. So he goes with them while Sam's looking at this. But Sam, of course, notices and hits him. And also, unfortunately, the gun that Sam had wasn't even loaded. But now he has a loaded gun. But while he's talking, Taylor tries to run to get outside because there is a cop that's outside guarding them. So I'm surprised Taylor didn't kill him. Sorry, Taylor, Sam. I guess he didn't want to attract attention. No, he keeps running, but he's going through that door. He's got the black key that not Sam, that Bod went through and turned into a ghost. So his spirit gets off of his body while he's fighting with Taylor. But he doesn't really die. While Taylor's fighting with Sam. Of course, Tyler's not really dead, but Sam is certain he kills him. So then he goes down and drags him. Now, while this is happening, the woman comes out of the well. She grabs Bod, before that, and essentially threatens, like, if he doesn't help her, doesn't do as she wishes, she'll throw him down the well. Now, he needs to get the key for her, and if he doesn't, or if he does, then she'll make sure no more harm comes to his family tonight. And she tells him, "I always keep my promises." Let me tell you, that's one weird bitch. And a scary one, too. So what's Bod gonna do? He does as she tells him. He goes, he uses the door, because while he's this ghost, if he thinks of some place in the house, it takes him there. So he thinks of this key, and it brings him to Kenzie, and he's panicked, like, "Oh, Kenzie, please don't be dead." But Kenzie is still alive, or Kinsey. And he thinks of the key again, but it brings him to her. It brings him to her again. He's like, "I need the key." And then he notices her bracelet, and he sees the key there. It's like it's engraved on it. So now he knows what he needs to do. He goes back to his body. And now while Sam is dragging Tyler to the mom's room, he escapes with the bracelet and goes back to the well house. He gives her the bracelet, but she just takes the key, throws the bracelet into the well, and then opens the door and leaves. And he's like, "Wait, you promised." He goes through the bars to get to her, but it's already too late. She used the key to get out of the door, but to somewhere else. It's the anywhere key that she's using. So there's that. Now back in the house, now Tyler is in this ghost mood, and he's like, "What do I do? I need to. What about mom?" And because it's also enough for him to just think of something or of someone or someone to think of him, and he can be summoned. So then he's there with his mom, and he's like, "No, I can't be dead. Mom can't go through this again. Just 3 months after losing dad. Was it 3 months? I think so." So he's like, "What do I do? I need to get back to my body. I need to." And then he remembers what Bod told him, because Bod told everyone about the door and becoming a ghost. So he thinks about, I need to get back, and he's transported back to the door, to the door, and he flies through it into his body. So Sam is threatening that if they don't give him the keys, tell him where the key is, he's going to kill Kenzie as well. He grabs Kenzie, starts to wake her up, hitting, like shaking her. But then Tyler wakes up and hits him and start fighting. It sounds like, I preferred you when you were dead. He hits his leg with a shovel. It looks like that's it. He's about to kill him. You see Bod coming down the stairs again. But Kinsey grabs the gun and shoots his neck and leg as he runs away up the stairs. They're all down there. Tyler is hugging Kenzie. And I forgot to say, Tyler's hands were tied behind his back. And then he moved them to the front. So they're all hugging Kenzie, and she's like, Mom couldn't do it, so I had to save you. Now, the reason Bod couldn't have released Nina or Duncan, it was because Sam took the key with him, or else he would have probably opened the door for them. Now, upstairs is... now, while this was happening, the creepy chick... Because this is something else I forgot to mention. She tells Bod about all these different keys. Telling him about, the keys in Lovecraft... Or, sorry, in the key house. And the house protects itself because when the kids reach adulthood, they forget about all of this. So she tells him, there's this key that can switch your sex. If you're a man, you can turn into a woman and vice versa. So she goes, she is now in the house. She's in Kenzie's room. She goes to her closet, moves it, and then there's a door. And she has like this little leather sack hanging from her neck. And out of it, she pulls the sex-changing key, let's call it, and goes through, and now she's a man again. Because she is that guy from that picture. She tells Bod before this that once her father would do anything for him, or her in that instant. So it's very confusing. So he goes through that door, and he's and he's through to Tyler's room. He takes some of his clothes. Now then, as Sam is going through the halls, he comes across this guy. And he's like, he recognizes him. He's like, "You gotta help me." And he's like, "Don't worry, Sam, I will." He grabs Sam and essentially, I don't know, breaks his neck or something. And then he starts dragging him towards the door with the skeleton key. And he's like, "Of course I'll help you, Sam. I promised you a new life, a new face. I'm the only one that really loves you, but I still need you." And then he throws him out the door. It throws him out of that door, and then I can't tell if he locked it or what, but then you hear the detective that came to talk to the mom a few days earlier. He's like, "Stop," but the guy's already gone. That's it. He left. Then we see him go into he's going to another part of Lovecraft, and he's going to the coach's house. He knocks on her door at like 11 p.m. And she's like, "Who is it? If you wake up my son." And then she sees him out there standing with his hands bloodied because he was grabbing Sam and Sam was bleeding. And he's like, "Hello, Ellie, can you let me in? It's the least you can do after I killed your mother for you." Holy shit. Then I guess it's already morning over there. They're looking over. They can't find Sam. And then the detective wants to see that door. And Duncan opens it for him. You see Tyler going all nervous. And then, but then nothing happens because Duncan used a regular key. That skeleton key seems to be gone. I don't know. Maybe the weird dude took it. It's unclear. So his mom approaches him. Now she has fuck, what do you call it? What do you use for walking? Not a walking stick anymore. It's crotch. A crotch. She's using a crotch. And he's like, oh, thinking about, what did he say, dying. And she said, well, you're not going anywhere. Mama says so. And then that's it. And then we're 2 weeks later. We see Kenzie and Bud. They're outside there's like a little pool in front of the well house. And like days earlier, Bud was also fishing in it. But he's not. His hook doesn't have any bait on it. It has a magnet. That's what he's fishing for. And she asks him, Bud, are you not playing Ghost anymore? And he tells her, no, the key is lost. And she's like, you were just joking about that, right, Bud? Her bracelet is gone too. I guess they kind of forgot about it after. So, but then, yeah, they're sitting there, and then Tyler appears behind them and says, well, is anything biting? And Kenzie started, it's not that kind of fishing. Then Tyler introduces them to a new kid called, what did he call himself? It's that creepy dude, basically. He calls himself Zach now. Telling him that he's new in their school. He missed orientation week and he's now living with the coach. So he basically cut his hair, added some piercings, and changed his eyes to blue somehow. I don't know if he had a key for that too or what. But, Tyler's like, oh, Bud, why don't you say hello to Zach? And he's like, hello. I think Bud recognizes him, I believe. So then he offers, Tyler, why don't we go to the beach or something? Tyler says they're going to the beach if they want to come. And Tyler and Kenzie's like, of course. And then Tyler says, come on, but catch up, Bud. And he says, just a minute, because he did manage to fish something. And it's another weird key. And that's it. To be continued in Lock and Key Head Games. And then the last kind of images of different keys and everything. Some that were shown here. It's a key, it's like got a head. It's in the shape of a head and there's a hole for the eye. And that's it. Okay, let me tell you what this dude's name is. Let's see, what was his name? Radio back. Okay, let's see. Second, let me tell you his name. There we go. Okay, so this guy's name is Lucas Caravigo, maybe? And then you got the coach and Rendell Locke. That was, they're called, their family name, their surname is Locke. Yeah, so so this guy Lucas, he's that one, so that was the first volume. But first the cover. Now what I got is the second print of the trade anyway. At least according to my comic shop. It's pretty neat. I mean, you got the key, you got the house in the back, all threatening a little in red, very ominous. Let me show you the art style. The art style is pretty interesting. Okay, there's a bit of gruesomeness here. There's the mom. And there's that other guy that you see that raped her. Yeah, he's an ugly fucker. It's probably not gonna be missed. You see, they killed, I think Bod killed his uncle too. Not Bod, fool. Sam killed his uncle to get that, there you go. You see, Tyler's complaining he's wanting to go to California. You see, this is how Kenzie used to look. And she tries to look more normal. Basically pissed off because they're in the summer house, or Tyler's pissed off, and their dad's having them repaint it. You see, it's blue. They're painting it baby blue. So there you go. That's the memory I told you about. And that's Duncan there, the uncle, hugging Tyler. That's Bud. Oops. Okay, that's it. I don't show you too much. I like the art style. It's definitely interesting. It's at least not ugly. Okay, now for the story. So this was not a bad beginning. I will admit, I thought there would be more, like we get some initial information about about Locke House and the keys. Because this year I read the first part of a 2-issue miniseries that kind of combines Sandman and Lock and Key. So it's like generations ago, the people that back then lived in Key House and they actually used the keys. Now it's interesting this part about the house protecting them but making them forget, because now apparently Randall hid the key. So Lucas couldn't get to it, I imagine. For some reason. It's all very confusing. There's a lot of questions. But what I was trying to say is that in this two-issue crossover miniseries, the woman that uses the keys is an adult, but she remembers and uses the keys. So I don't understand. Is this something that happened later? How is it that she, as an adult, could use the keys, but then it seems like Duncan doesn't remember, and nor did Randall. So it's all very odd. Maybe you forget if you move away, but then it doesn't look like Randall remembers either. It looks like the family also has a lot of money, because it's a big house. And, I mean, Duncan, as he calls himself, he's a failed artist, so I wonder how he makes money and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. See, I thought it would be more information about the keys, and maybe it would start in this house with the keys and shit, but it looks like no, they're not doing that. I find interesting that they don't. Like, again, I thought it would start with that, so it kind of gives you a little taste, but it leaves you with a lot of questions. Who is Lucas? Why did he, how did he end up in that well? What was he to Randall? Was he, was he Randall's friend? Were they best friends? And then Randall found out about the keys and everything and wanted to do something. But then Lucas wanted to, but Randall tried to stop him, and so he locked him in the well. And why did he use the key to turn himself into a woman if he was a man? Like, what's going on? And Bod was told by Lucas that his father had a dark secret. So what was the dark secret? What happened between them? What was going on? Maybe that's something made Randall move away from Lovecraft. Also, it's so cool they live in a town called Lovecraft. Called Lovecraft. So yeah, it looks like whatever it was got Randall to move away. I don't know. I wonder if perhaps one option is that they were together. Maybe and Randall and Lucas were together, and yeah, I don't know if he didn't want people to know. Maybe that's it. Randall didn't want, but then locking the dude down the well just for that. Again, I'm thinking maybe Lucas was in love with Randall. And that's why he turned himself into a woman. Because he knew only like that he could be with Randall. I don't know. This is like a theory, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's more likely something happened. Lucas seems to be himself quite a character. Because he makes promises, but they're not what you're hoping for. And also, he's told Bod that tonight no harm will come to your family. But I think he left Sam there because his body disappeared. But I think you could kind of see his spirit in the morning while they were checking the premises. So does that mean he's going to leave him in the house? Because, of course, you see now he's going to pretend to be a new student at Lovecraft Academy. And I think the piercings are for him to maybe try to get close to Kenzie. I think he's going to make sure that he has access to the house so he can get more keys. Because he only got the Anywhere key. I think there's another key he was hunting for, but he couldn't find it. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen here, really. Will he get this key? What is he planning to do next? And will the children find out what's going on? Will they know the secret, unlock the secrets of House Key? I mean, it's really all very intriguing. Like, how did these keys start? How do you find them? How did Lucas find out about them? How did he end up down that well? Did Randall do that to him? Did he lock him down there? And how did he even survive if he was locked down there? And again, why did he turn himself into a woman? I have so many questions. So yeah, this is an intriguing story. I think it's best though read as a trade paperback. Is in between not in between the chapters because this got from issue 1 to 6. Not a lot is happening in each issue really. It's meant to just read it all collected. At least I think so. But yeah, overall, this is a really interesting concept, and I think in some point in the future I will definitely pick up the next trade paperback to read. That won't be anytime soon. As interesting as this was, I, didn't fall out of my wheelchair with amazement, but it was intriguing. So that's it, folks. If you like, this kind of stuff, or maybe if you like Joel Hill's writing, I've never read any of his writing, to be fair. This was my first. This was pretty good. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, if you like weird stories with magic and shit, I recommend you give this a try. I think quite a lot read Locke and Key already, because at least from what I understand from my comic shop, it came out between 2009 and 2014, so I'm super late to the party. But, okay, I still enjoyed this. Alright, folks, so that is it. Let me know what you thought of Locke and Key. And remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!